Good afternoon, everybody. How are you doing today? Hope your weekend is going well. Welcome back to what is obviously Warframe. Either that or I have mostly mislabeled the title of the stream. So, the purpose of this stream: rank up Ash here, and that hammer on his back, whose name I forget. Rank up Baruuk Prime with his Cobra and Crane Prime. Hopefully do the Mastery Rank 22 test, and probably run the Perita Rebellion. That's the general plan. Hi, Acronymus. How you doing? And I'd like to introduce you to Phoebe here, my first female Cobra. And yes, she is named after Brakaj's cat, or one of them. This one is interesting. Turns you invisible when you're within 45 minutes of 45 meters. No, 24 meters. I apologize. I'm an enemy. But that's enough. Let's just get on with this, because this is likely to be tedious. And the only way to relieve my tedium is if people engage with me in chat. You're thirsty? I strongly recommend you get a cup of tea. Let's see if anybody wants to run a CAD. They do, apparently. And because it's this, we will Please don't anybody shoot the Kuva Lich. She's with me. Don't really need that, but it's become sort of ingrained to pick up those. And yes, this is going to be me using a very big gun, hopefully until I rank up. Well, that's a good idea. And before anybody tells me, yes, I know that I would rank up this hammer on his back if I used it, but for the purposes of encouraging everyone to stay with me, let's not make it look like we're losing too quickly.
Reinforcements available. Do you choose to leave now or continue fighting?
Anybody drop ammunition?
Be rewarded for your bravery.
Yes, thank you. I swear this thing punches through the walls of whatever that is. I did pick up Phoebe, right? This is my spot. Go and get your own.
Extraction is ready. Unless you can handle more of the enemy.
Oh, I think we can handle more of the enemy.
Another opportunity to extract will appear soon.
Yeah, see? Didn't even see it. Probably not playing to Ash's strengths here, but the whole purpose is ranking him up anyway, so... And then he's going to get fed to the helmet. I typically drink spiced ginger or lemon and ginger with honey. If I want caffeine, then it's typically coffee or Monster Energy drink, simply because it gives me that boost to stay awake to do this kind of thing. I don't particularly like Monster Energy, but it serves a purpose. Otherwise, I can't do a 3.5 hour live stream or whatever this is likely to turn into without yawning my head off halfway through it. Yeah. I don't understand people who drink green tea. Really not to my taste. I mean, if you want to steep grass in water, and that's fine. Just don't expect me to like it necessarily. I mean, it's not disgusting. It's like chamomile. Chamomile's not really to my taste. Yeah, those could be good. Although I did have a rather interesting experience drinking tea in a Chinese tea house in Shenzhen once with my then fiancée and eventually second ex-wife. It's I think they call it the Chinese Cultural Center, depicting China, or an idealized version of it, across the millennium. It's actually quite interesting and extremely well done. Well worth going to see if you are in the region, I can get a visa. The only downside to this particular tactic is you don't necessarily get to wander around and get all the pickups. Yeah, you see? Hit the... I knew it was in there and it hit it through the box. Or pipe. I mean, not unrealistic. I mean, I don't know what this thing's armed with. Go away. This is my spot. Please. Oh, but there was ammunition nearby. Has to be said, if you're ranking up at a Warframe, being able to summon up a Mausolon is profoundly useful. I strongly recommend it. Well, we are getting... I am not doing a very good job here.
Is ready, unless you can handle more of the enemy.
Yeah, it's more than that, obviously.
Another opportunity to extract will appear soon.
Yeah, I am not doing a very good job here, it seems, because the damage to this is slowly accumulating, which means they're getting too close, and on a good day, I can keep them off. So I must be getting slow. You can tell because I'm getting a little bit more frantic and wilder with my shooting. Better. A little bit better. We didn't actually go down to 0. And I am almost out of ammunition. Well, you know, 480 rounds. Come on, somebody give me more ammo, otherwise this is going to come to an end. Attack me, not the cryopod. Oh, good, I got more ammo. Shenzhen's, you know, as a tourist, is interesting. It's obviously much more than just an electronic hub. I mean, it is a massive place, but it is huge. It is intimidatingly big. I will say that. If you're used to, you know... Mind you, I was only there less than 24 hours, so... You really want... If you're going there, go with somebody who knows the place, which I was fortunate enough to be able to do. Otherwise, you'll get lost. And probably taken advantage of, because you'll be... Yeah, gonna have to. You know things have gotten desperate when you're down to the machine pistol and you don't really have the time. I got my pocket picked in Shenzhen. Lost my camera.
Extraction is
Yeah.
Unless
I think we've pretty much run out of luck here.
we're done here. The extraction team will take over from here. Time to evacuate.
No, no, okay. Oh, I didn't know we had shadow clones. Oh, that's another 3,000 points. Oh, let's have a look and see what my stats were like. Oh, not too bad. Did 53% of the damage. Almost there. Yep, getting there. And now I've got to do it all again. Let's see whether anybody's doing it. No, they're not. Alright, let's go to Helene. A CAD is pretty much my default go-to for ranking up these days, but you do want 3 or 4 people with you.
The enemy
What
is
am I
at our
at?
doorstep. You must defend our equipment until reinforcements arrive.
I don't like the hammer. It's the... Don't I have... I thought I had a... Did I not? I don't have a Cobra with me. Oh, silly me. Iris. No, that's not my Cobra.
Reinforcements. Keep fighting, Tenno.
Yeah, back to the arch gun. Means somebody's going to have to stand here and do the defensive bit because nobody else is doing it. If you want my personal opinion on tactics, if you've only got 2 people, one needs to be right on top of the cryopod. And the other one can wander around as much as they like, but you do need one person on the cryopod with only 2 of you. Oops, sorry. Sorry, college. Oh, wow. That's a lot of people. The one downside to Helene is you don't get any reloads, as far as I can tell, for your really, really big gun. So it becomes a little bit more of a lesson in conservation of ammunition. On the other hand, the level's what? Third of what we were dealing with in the last one. Sorry again!
Reinforcements available. Do you choose to leave
Oh,
now?
but did you have fun at Swamini?
Another
I mean,
opportunity to extract will
I
appear
forgot
soon.
to ask whether my friend in Malaysia was doing anything like that. Don't think so. Because she is Indian as well. Oh. Alright, I'm going to do a bit of a gather here of bits and pieces. Seeing as everyone else has gotten stuff, I see no reason why I should deny myself. Yeah, didn't equip Phoebe. Sorry, Phoebe.
Extraction is ready. Unless you can handle more of the enemy.
I'm quite happy to, as long as I got ammo. This doesn't feel like a...
Continue to defend.
I say it doesn't feel like a melee mech. Mech. Well, not with that weapon, it's not. I mean, you know the nature of Warframe. Any Warframe can be a perfectly good hand-to-hand mech. Warframe. Device. Thing. I'll be thinking mechs all evening. Of course, technically I'm using this machine gun, so I'm really doing close quarters battle rather than melee. Although originally a melee was not one-on-one, it was multiple on multiples. It was a feature of medieval jousts, or tournaments I should say, where you'd get two teams of knights basically beating themselves over their head with blunt weapons. And occasionally killing each other. Yep, I'm almost out of ammo. Okay. Nearly ranked that up. I don't need the hammer. Really, I just need Ash, Baruuk, and Cobra and Crane. Same reason we glorify soldiers. It's a similar thing. People have always done it. People have glorified crime or been fascinated with it for a long time. In the days before moving pictures, if there was a good juicy murder going on or serial killer, newspapers would sell better, my understanding, because people were fascinated by it. So it's only an extension of that. So why do people like action movies? When you look at some of the things people get up into action movies, you know, the illegality and the horror that they inflict on their fellow man can be fairly appalling, but some of them can be undeniably entertaining. The hammer, by the way, just a throwaway. I will sell it. It's just a Grenier hammer. Yeah, but it's not very entertaining. That's why we don't make movies about that kind of thing. Well, we probably do, but... I, for one, will freely admit I'd far rather watch an action movie than something about somebody doing a meaningful, selfless act. I don't think I've seen it. I probably have at some point. That was Jimmy Stewart, wasn't it? No, that was Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. Who was 12 Angry Men? Walter Matthau? But again, there's the element of, you know, you need a criminal situation to set it up, so... But there's still the combative nature of the trial process, I suppose, if I remember correctly. I think the problem is if you run by your own rules, you better make sure that they are rules which don't end you up in prison, because criminals run by their own rules. Yeah, that's. I don't remember the details. I knew it was about. But I can't remember the details. I may have seen it. I know of it, but I'm not saying, you can't make a perfectly decent movie about anything, to be honest. I just happen to know what I like. I don't know. Never been in that position, really. Well, that's not necessarily true, but I don't want to be a bad guy. But just look at me. I've been through 2 divorces. What's the common feature there? That's right, me. So in somebody's eyes, I am the bad guy. Now, granted, that's because I'm just terrible at relationships, but... I have watched quite a bit of anime over the years.
Extraction is ready, unless you can handle more of the enemy.
I mean, I was introduced to anime probably by watching Akira, like a lot of people in the West were at the time. I mean, some of my favorites are probably favorites of everybody else. And some of them might not be. I think Akira was... Well, no. Akira almost certainly wasn't the first anime I'd seen. Because some of it made it over here. And we didn't necessarily realize we were watching anime. But yeah, Akira was probably the first one where, you were consciously aware this was Japanese animation. Oh, yes, I know. I mean, they cover everything. I mean, Dragon Ball Z is anime. So is Pokemon. Somebody explain anime to Riss. It's literally animation, typically Japanese, I think, would be the easiest way of putting it. Anime is a genre. Sort of. A style of making... It's a style? Yeah. Typically it means anime. Yeah. Asian. I would normally say Japanese. But yeah. And it's definitely not just for kids. I don't know that I've seen any Chinese animation, but I wouldn't be surprised if I had. But I haven't really sat down and watched much of it lately. If I get around to it, I will, but yeah. I'll keep it in the back of my mind. Oh, that was... I did see arch gun ammunition there.
Extraction is ready. Unless you can handle more.
Okay.
Very impressive, Tenno. You held them all back. Time to get out of here.
Okay. Alright, that's Ash and the Jag Kitag done. I will now sell one. Right, let's see what I can get rid of.
Nora is, and as she wipes the sleep from her eyes, she wonders, does the Unum ever leave that tower? Can she leave
That I need for building something else. That's the only reason I've got it.
someone in Cetus?
That I can sell.
Give it up.
And Sherlock Holmes was very good for its time. Do I want to get rid of this? I don't know. Problem is, some of these are so tempting just to keep everything. I need to clear some of this stuff out because I'm pretty certain I can get other versions of it. Alright. Let's go and... sorry. There is an Ash Prime, isn't there? Is there an Ash Prime? Have a little look. If there isn't, I might keep him, but... yeah. Oh, yes, yeah, there is an Ash Prime. Good. I haven't got it, but... yes, yeah. Hello, Phoebe. Sorry I didn't bring you along. Next time. Where's the helmet? Yeah, there we go.
Vile. Putrid. This thing is responsible for biological functions of the orbiter. A strange design. Why would I be built with such a flaw?
Oops. Ooh, hang on a second. I need to feed him first. Sorry. Oh wow, how did I not? I am really sorry, I was not intending. I am not in feeding you Entrati Lanthorns. Let's see, what can I... Akira is... yeah, there's a... some of the... Akira is definitely considered a classic. Right. Some of the other ones that I saw early on were Ghost in the Shell. of course, and I've seen the various sequels and series. Princess Mononoke was excellent. Ninja Scroll is one of my favorites. Let us pick up. There is Baruuk, all set up. Yeah, but there are some shows which are more definitely not for children. Ninja Scroll, most emphatically, not for children. Wow, you're hungry. Trying to think of others. One of my, I don't know whether it really counts as anime, but one of my favorites for whatever reason is Final Fantasy Advent Children, which I really like for some reason. Sort of a sequel to Final Fantasy VII. Right, so the main event, so to speak. Let's make sure that you do have Phoebe with you. No. Let's take Phoebe. There we go. Horus Kubro, who will turn me invisible. Make sure I got the muzzle on. Yeah. Now this one, obviously, I'm keeping. Are you ready for this? You can turn me invisible if you like. Oh, I just realised what time. Good grief, I've been going 45 minutes already. Given the length of time it is, and given the speed with which caffeine goes through my system, I will take a very quick break and be right back, and then we'll spend the next 45 minutes ranking this thing up. So I shall be with you shortly. I mean, one of the things about anime that sticks with me is sometimes the music. There's a series called Angel Cop. Now, Angel Cop is not what you would call a fantastic series, although it's well worth watching, but the signature music for it is Crayon Shah singing Itami, and that's fantastic. No, never watched Paprika. And Itami I love. And then for Genocide, the series, which is also worth watching and quite disturbing, you have Fairy Dreaming. And you think, Fairy Dreaming? Fairy Dreaming is a wonderful piece of music. Yeah, there's a classic, I say it's classic, Pamela Moss singing Fairy Dreaming is quite something. Right, here we go again. And seeing as I really want to use the Cobra and Crane, we'll go to Helene. Oh, Berserk is good. Berserk is very good. It's a great shame that they only really did the first sort of major story arc up to Guts becoming the Black Swordsman, but he's a classic.
The enemy is at our doorstep. We must defend our equipment until reinforcements arrive.
I mean, a lot of it doesn't make any sense in many aspects, but this is very good. Thank you, Phoebe.
Reinforcements are inbound. Hold the line.
Yeah, we haven't started yet. I'm just going to open up the... Yeah, could you open these up for me? Thank you, Phoebe. I need Ayatan stars. Oh, I'm sorry. There is often an Ayatan star on this level, but apparently not today. I do need them. Look for them streaming on something. Oh, great. Looks like we're going to get a visit from Stalker. Whoops. How did I fall through the cracks? I'm not a huge fan of that sword, it has to be said. I mean, that's a sword that makes no sense whatsoever. Even within... I will always find a way to criticize really massive swords. Even though they are cool. I mean, in terms of swords, Guts is right up there. I mean, I think Guts predates... Cloud Strife's sword, doesn't he? Yeah, I can join you on Demos. Let me get this. Let me get through this first. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't. Like I say, I used to own. I had DVDs of this stuff, but I have not. I kind of went off it. And these days, I'm not inclined to return to it. When I owned the DVDs, I, did
Reinforcements available.
rip them onto disc. I might still have some of them around, actually.
Continue to defend.
Probably shouldn't, because technically I don't own the DVD anymore. Netflix is probably I don't know where you would go on which streaming service to find. Oh, you can find some of them on YouTube. Berserk is on YouTube. I think Genocyber is. Akira's probably on something like Netflix. Whatever you do, don't watch English dubs. Watch in Japanese with subtitles. You probably get a better version of the story. They tend to change the plot if they're dubbing it. Princess Mononoke, I think the rights in the West are owned by Disney. So I don't know whether you'll find that on Disney's streaming service. Distributed by Miramax, as I recall. Because it's definitely sort of a bit darker than typical Disney fare. But, oh creep, what's the name of the studio that did Princess Mononoke? But apparently they had a deal with Disney that there would be no cuts. And the Weinstein brothers, who owned Miramax at the time, wanted to cut it. And had to be persuaded not to. Yeah, well, there should be a lot more than just 28 episodes, 28 minutes.
More of the enemy. Keep fighting. Another opportunity to extract.
Pretty certain it's violating somebody's copyright, but and yes, I did go invisible. That's Phoebe's doing. Wouldn't be surprised if Akira was on YouTube as well, to be honest. Yeah, that sounds like it would be the first of it. It's a little misleading, but it's still worth watching. And you don't get to see the Black Swordsman era. Unfortunately, you just get to see the bit about how Guts becomes the Black Swordsman. And that's its own massive arc. Which it was in the manga as well, as I recall.
Reinforcements available.
Oops.
You choose to leave now.
Come on.
Very impressive, Tenno. You held them all back. Time to get out of here.
Yeah, my stats are going to be terrible for that. Alright, let's go and see if anybody's doing villainous. Yeah. This isn't Baruuk's default color scheme, by the way, but I do kind of like it. A what? Oh, Storm. Storm. That's pushing what on that? Yeah, I'm not going to be using that. I can almost guarantee it.
Unless you can handle more of the enemy. Continue to defend. You will be rewarded for your bravery.
I mean, for all the improbability of that sword, it's not actually that bad. I'll have to work on it at some point. I mean, I do approve of the use of sword and shield in this game. I tried to build a Furious Prime as well for this, but while a Furious Prime is associated with Baruuk Prime, it's not actually its signature weapon. The Cobra and Crane Prime is. And I've never seen a regular Cobra and Crane. We must be within 24 meters of something. It's going to be interesting to see what happens when I put Stick Primed Fury on that blade. Yeah, let me. I can always come back and do this, can't I? Something like rampaging around Demos, I'm going to take a fully configured Warframe rather than something I'm ranking up. I used to live in Tucson, Arizona, which is, of course, the middle of the Sonoran Desert. So I know a bit about living in a desert, a very specific one. My brother now has spent years living in the Sahara. He's in the oil industry, so he would do 1 month on, 1 month off in the middle of the Sahara.
Reinforcements available. Do you choose to leave now or continue?
Alright, let's go armor up and say hello to Acronymus. I can always come back to this.
We're done here. The extraction team will take over from here. Time to evacuate.
How far away am I from level 22? Yeah, give me a second. Oh, apparently I can qualify for Dragon. No, I can. Alright. That works. Let me just go grab something. Okay, have I got everything? Nasaruk, right, Araspinosa, Zenuric. Make sure I have got this set to
All set.
Razor Wing.
Select your weapons. My set.
Alright, I'm coming, Acronymus. Well, a desert, I think one of the definitions of a desert is actually the rainfall. And you can have dampish deserts. But I don't know the precise definition. I mean, deserts obviously don't have to be cold, warm. Look at Antarctica. That's a desert, technically. That's defined by... Yeah, exactly, I was saying, yeah. It's not defined. It's defined by precipitation rather than by is it hot. Right. What are we doing? I have not seen this one, have I? I don't remember strip mining.
It may not look like it now, but Deimos is rich in natural resources. These resources can still be liberated by strip mining the infested substrate in designated areas. Tenno, if you have a mind to go digging, Lloyd can show you the most fruitful spots.
Alright, where are we going?
I have detected a high concentration of resources in this area. Dispatching excavator units for exploitation. An excavator has powered down. If you can scavenge an energy source, it can be brought back online. Excavator back online. Continue protection and monitoring.
No, it's an excavation, obviously. All I need to do, I can't remember whether I don't know that I've ever really used Titania on Demos.
An excavator reports. Mining sequence complete. Excavation of site complete. An excellent haul. I have detected a high concentration of resources in this area. Dispatching excavator units for exploitation.
Forgot about using Neutron Star. Silly of me, really. What level is this?
An excavator reports. Mining sequence complete. A full cycle has been made by all excavators. Outstanding.
Actually, do you know what? This is a good way to get token. I've never really paid much attention to this particular level, and I don't know why.
Resources buried around here. I'm calling in the diggers. One of the diggers ran out of juice. We better see what we can find to power it up again.
Excavator power levels acceptable. Mining sequence restarted.
Well, I'm sure you could say that about a lot of countries. Of course, what I really ought to be doing is using my necromech.
All the diggers got through digging. That's great.
I actually need the cyan stars, but that's alright. Where are we going?
There's a ton of resources buried around here. I'm calling in the diggers.
What on earth is that? I don't think I've seen that before.
An excavator has powered down. If you can scavenge an energy source, it can be brought back online. Excavator power levels acceptable. Mining sequence restarted.
Don't forget, Riss, I don't exactly have a huge amount of time to necessarily check on everything you've said. So if I miss out on something or I don't respond to it, that's the reason. Hey, that was mine.
An excavator reports. Mining sequence complete.
What? No, sorry. Okay, no. No, it was the cyans I need. Doesn't matter. The ambers are always useful to have. But for some reason, I always run out. I always run out of them. Beat it to it! I got it. Oh, that one's done.
All the diggers got through digging. That's great.
Oh, if I didn't already have junculus barbs, it's a good way to get tokens. I'll tell you that. Actually, this is. Yeah, I don't know why I haven't spent more time here. Are you talking about the game or reality?
I have detected a high concentration of resources in this area. Dispatching excavator units.
Where are we going?
Exploitation.
No, wrong one.
An excavator has powered down. If you can scavenge an energy source, it can be brought back online.
I'm sorry, give me a moment. I fell off a cliff.
Excavator power levels acceptable. Mining sequence restarted.
Oh, that's what happened. Silly me. Oh, sure. I don't think modernity is a. I don't think modernity necessarily precludes from people from being kind. In fact, I would say it sometimes encourages it. It's a lot easier to give to charities helping out halfway around the world through modernity. That's a relatively modern idea. Yeah, something that wasn't possible, 1,000 years ago.
A full cycle has been made by all excavators. Outstanding.
Mental note to self: advise people to come on this mission for things like jungulus barbs and carnus mandible, because those are useful.
I have detected a high concentration of resources in this area. Dispatching excavator units for exploitation.
What's a fallen bone widow? Huh.
An excavator has lost power. Reinitiated with a locally procured power source.
Okie dokie, that fixed it. It's working again now.
Finger trouble. Weird thing is, I actually do have a recipe to turn cyan stars into amber ones, and yet the one thing I never have trouble keeping is the amber ones. Don't ask me why.
That's a digger finished digging.
A full cycle has been made by all excavators. Outstanding.
Why can't I switch to Archwing in mid-flight?
Scanning. Detecting subsurface resources. Excavation units en route. Kindly assist in their deployment. An excavator has powered down. If you can scavenge an energy source, it can be brought back online.
Thank you, I know. Which one went down?
Back online. Continue protection and monitoring.
Can't tell. The invisibility thing's kind of handy. You want to dash quietly across the landscape. Oh. Apart from the bits where it doesn't work anymore. I think most countries are emotional. And I can't speculate about what it would be like if it wasn't for colonial interference from the French and the British. Didn't the Portuguese have a go? Yeah, Goa was Portuguese, wasn't it? Yes, I'm not quite sure what would have happened if the rest of the world hadn't decided they wanted a piece of India.
An excavator reports. Mining sequence complete. Excavation of site complete.
Wow, but there is some really, really useful stuff here. I mean, now I've got all those mods, but my goodness, those are. I'm definitely going to have to remember this.
I have detected a high concentration of resources in this area. Dispatching excavator units for exploitation.
Green velocipede. Gorgeous.
The diggers ran out of juice. We better see what we can find to power it up again.
I think globalization is an inevitability of the modern world. It doesn't matter whether I like it or not, it's an inevitability. If you want your computers, you need to have globalization. You want your cars, you've got to have globalization. It's unavoidable this day and age. And it has been for a very long time. You want spices, you need globalization. You want coffee, you need globalization. You want your tea, you need globalization. You know, so there is, I can't think, there's probably not too many countries that would be able to support themselves entirely 100% without globalization. Can't think of one off the top of my head. that doesn't depend on trade. And if you've got trade, you're talking globalization. I mean, I imagine there are countries which are less dependent on the outside world than others, but there's not that many. I mean, if I were to guess, I would say somewhere like Nepal or Bhutan, but I'm guessing. Like I say, you know, you want certain products, you're gonna have it.
An excavator has completed its digging cycle. Full excavation of site complete. An excellent haul.
Hey, there's a ton of resources buried around here. I'm calling in the diggers.
No, I'm not sure about leading people to have a short life. It depends on where you are, I suppose, but life expectancy globally is continues to go up. Well, that's too far away to go pick up that.
An excavator reports. Mining sequence complete. Full excavation of site complete.
Don't copy white buildings. That's kind of... Sorry.
I have detected a high concentration of resources in this area. Dispatching excavator units for exploitation.
Sorry, I'm just picking up the foam residue, 'cause you never know when you might need it. Right, where were we?
One of the diggers
Yes, they did.
ran out of juice. We better see
Well,
if
good
we
heavens,
can
yes, they did.
power it up again.
Someone said, "Oh, that's interesting, we'll copy that." People have been borrowing traditions and ideas from each other as long as there have been people.
Excavator back online. Continue protection and monitoring.
Oops, didn't want to do that. If you think so, I don't agree. The world's becoming boring.
An excavator reports. Mining sequence complete.
Oh, can't slip through that gap.
All the diggers got through digging. That's great.
I have detected a high concentration of resources in this area. Dispatching excavator units for exploitation.
No, I don't think. I think you're being unfair. Asia is not as emotional. You've got this thing going. Oh, Asia's emotional. No, I don't think that's necessarily the case. Every country has, there was a time when Great Britain was notorious for being emotional. If you can believe that.
Acceptable.
Sort of Tudor era, but
Restarting.
I think you're making a sweeping generalization there. Old English people were crude. Everybody was crude at some point, depending on what you mean by crude. But no, I think you're being unfair. I mean,
An excavator has completed.
it depends on your survival situation. To be not crude, arguably would be dependent on how hard you have to fight to survive. If you don't have time and all you're focusing on is survival, and for a lot of human existence, that's what was important. Can you just get through the winter alive? Yeah, you're not going to be sophisticated when you do it. No crude. I don't have time to look up a definition of crude, so I can be more definitive about it. Uncouth, unsophisticated. And yeah. Yeah, it's pretty much what I thought, yeah.
Hey, there's
Humanity wasn't, the idea of global humanity wasn't even a concept for, I don't know when that started. The idea, things like national identity are relatively recent concepts. I mean, I don't know, I think you might say the Romans had a concept of national identity. But, I'm not even sure about that. But it's, from what I understand, it's a relatively recent phenomenon.
An excavator has lost power. Reinitiate it with a locally procured power source.
And again, you know, how are you supposed to be sophisticated when you're spending your life just trying to survive? I mean, this is the lot of humanity, for most of humanity, for most of its existence. Whether you're a serf in England or a peasant in China or India, you know, most of the time, just day-to-day struggle. You don't have a lot of time for things like sophistication and not being crude. I mean, I suppose at least in India, you didn't have to worry about being, well, it depends where you are. So you imagine living in a world, where just getting enough food in to maybe survive winter was your overriding concern all year. And at the same time, you had to pay your local lord, you know, taxes. You had to pay the church their taxes. And at the same time, and their requirements came first.
All the diggers got through digging. That's great.
No, you see, you've got a very, I think you're being a little bit simplistic there, Riz. One of the consider this. One of the oh yeah, this will be the last one. I want to take a quick break, and then rank up to dragon level. And now I forgot what I was going to say. Ooh. I did not want to do that, did I? Last. Sorry, I messed up doing something. I just saw something which I'd never seen before, and now I'm wondering what it was. Okay. The lot of most of humanity. Where am I headed? Yeah, it was just day-to-day survival.
Hey, there's a ton of resources buried around here. I'm calling in the diggers.
Where are you? Yeah, where's the... Excuse me a second while I... Oh, thank you. That works. Goodies. Nobody's... Ooh. Oh! I have not... This is new. I have not seen Jungulus carapace before. That's a new one on me. That's actually fascinating. I haven't researched to see what the Jungulus series are, but that's useful. Oh, we got some good stuff there. Right. I am going to take a quick break. And then I'm going to do the mastery rank up. Level 22. Here we come. Ah, right. That's very good to know, Eponymous. Ah, okay. I'm going to have to check that one out. Anyway, right. So give me a couple of minutes. We'll come back and see what the mastery rank 22 is like. Don't tell me.
Sleep from her eyes.
I'm going to have to run that mission quite a bit. That was... which one was it? It was... which one was it? It wasn't mobile defense, no. Hang on a second. Capture, no. Oh, was it about? It was a Necrolist bounty. Got it. Thank you. I'm going to have to remember that one because that's useful. I mean, yeah, got it. Thank you. I shall definitely remember that. Right. Yep, understood. Let's go and see if I can do this. Yep, let's try.
You have proven your skills with weapons, Tenno. But what of your endurance? Can you survive this onslaught?
Oh, this is an easy one so far. There we go. That was easy.
A formidable performance. This test is now complete.
Yay. Well, that was nice and straightforward. Level 22. Awoken the dragon. Gainers. Ooh, look at that. I am now in the top 4% players. Only 4% of players actually reach this level.
Operator, a communication awaits your attention.
Thank you. Right, I am actually going to finish. Thank you. If anyone sees Pseudo, you can tell him I've now beaten him. Okay, hang on a second. Kids don't know who their grandfather is. I can guarantee you my son does. I think you're being a little hyperbolic there. I have and do pass down knowledge to my son. I think people have always done that. The nature of the knowledge might be a bit dubious, but we've always done that. So what I'm going to do is grab him, finish ranking him up, and then
Ordis keeps a tidy ship.
I'm not in a position to talk about dating. My dating history is relatively limited, and yeah, don't anybody ask me for dating advice.
Ready to kick.
I'm not a good person to talk to about dating, given that, like I say, 2 ex-wives. Yeah. No, dating, being a boyfriend and girlfriend is an important thing to go through, because that way you learn to have relationships with people other than your family. Oops. Come here, you.
Reinforcements available. Do you choose to leave now or continue fighting?
No, I'm not sure.
Continue to defend.
I'm not sure about that.
Bravery.
I have certainly had an influence on my son, but I'm not in a position to speak in, anecdotal evidence is not very good evidence. So all I've got is an opinion, and I. Sorry. Like I say, I'm not the best person to talk to about relationships. If I have another relationship with someone in my life, I will be out of my mind. Certainly got no intention of getting romantically involved with anybody ever again. And I mean that quite literally. Don't think it would be fair to them. Keep thinking I'm in a different Warframe.
Extraction is ready. Unless you can handle
Um,
the
I
last of them.
think you're.
Is secure.
Well, I think there is. Hang on a second. Uh, yeah, I remember my father. I think making a similar complaint. Oh, the modern generation is being raised by the schools and not by the parents. I have a suspicion people have been making that complaint for a very long time. And of course, if you were rich, then yeah, handing your kids off to a nanny was, or a boarding school. Yeah, that's arguably, that's been a thing for a very long time as well. I used to know a guy who was a product of the public school system. He was telling us, and it was very sad. And he was a bit older than me, not father old, but 20 years older maybe. And he spent basically a big chunk of his life in the boarding school system in England. And during the holidays, he would go and live with his other relatives, not his parents. I think his parents were working abroad, part of the British colonial system type of thing. And that must have been very, very difficult for him. He was telling us on one occasion he was at a train station, and these two strangers came up to him and started asking him questions about his life and how he was doing, and they were his parents and he didn't recognize them. Now that's a bit of an extreme example, but that is again, I'm not in a position to really stand in judgment. I mean, I'm divorced from my second ex-wife. My son lives with her. I've seen him as much as I can. I have been instrumental in his education, I can safely say. But, you could say, and I have sometimes regarded myself as a complete failure as a father, because I couldn't stay married to his mother. Like I say, while it's very easy to say, oh, everyone's to blame in that kind of thing, yeah, it was as much my fault as anybody else's. Talking of which, starting next week, I will be getting my son hopefully ready for his A-level exams in June. Just going to be taking up my mornings.
Reinforcements available. Do you choose to leave now or continue fighting? Keep fighting. Another opportunity to extract will appear soon.
Well, something also to remember, Riss, is that you're talking from a perspective that is obviously based on the Indian subcontinent. So you've come from a completely different culture to mine. Or at least a significantly different culture. So, I have had some experience with Chinese culture, and I can tell you that there are aspects of it that are perfectly okay, and there are aspects of it assault with parenting which can be quite damaging. It all depends on the parent, though. I am not going to talk too much about it because it's not necessarily my place to go into details. But not necessarily. I don't really know. I mean, the rich are their own sort of sub-society, you know? By which I mean subset.
Reinforcements available. Do you choose to leave now or continue fighting? Keep fighting. Another opportunity to extract will appear soon.
This is getting exciting. Although we're only 11 levels in. How many levels did Prakash and I go through once? 30 or so, I think it was. starting to go through ammunition at a fairly extensive rate. Alright, this is getting a little bit frantic. Does nobody have any ammunition?
Extraction is ready. Unless you can handle more of the enemy. Continue to...
Looks most certainly do run in the family. It's called genetics. That's why I see similarities to my father and my mother in both me and my brother, even though my brother and myself don't look a lot alike. But you compare us with family, then yeah, we do look like family. And my son looks disturbingly like my brother. But if you're talking about elegance, elegance is presentation. That's a whole different thing. Oh, Cobra Lich having fun over there. Yeah, but elegance again is about presentation. And you're not necessarily talking about elegance there, you're talking about kindness or empathy, which is something else. Even though humans are inherently empathic, there's a certain empathy built into the human biology, to one extent or the other. Empathy in humans is an inevitability of being a social species. It's not unique to humans. I am almost out of ammo. You're kidding me. I have never come so close to running out of ammo on these missions. At this rate, I'm going to have to just turn to hitting things, which will not keep us going for very long. Come on. We've got... Anybody got any ammo? Nope. And then the ammo shows up.
Reinforcements available. Do you choose to leave
Yeah, I
now?
think everybody's had it.
We're done here. The extraction team is moving from here. Time to evacuate.
Yay! We are ranked up. Excellent. So the next thing I need to do, what are my stats for that? Ooh, they were doing very nicely. An ember. Ah, what were they doing? Oh, probably one of the ember specials, which I'm not familiar with. What is interesting is the number of melee kills, because I personally was not doing melee kills, so that must be either Phoebe or the Kubelich. I think children should be allowed to make choices. Not, say children. Yeah, without going into huge detail, if I'd been allowed to do what I wanted to do in terms of profession, my life would have been very, very different. So sometimes, you know, right. Well, actually, what we will do is see what we got to upgrade. Let's see if we can grab some health. That is an interesting one.
Operator? Or just one
That's an interesting one.
thinking about it?
Right, let's see if we can stick some health on here. I don't have quite enough vitality. Oh, I've got umbral vitality. Oh, let's pop off steel fiber and put on. That'll give us something to do. And the shield. Don't have enough for redirection. I'm gonna have to fiddle with this at some point. Auger reach. No. Yeah. Okay. Somewhat sooner or later, I'm probably gonna have to actually work on this at some point. Oh, I've got that. Yeah, and I don't have the space to stick on anything else. I could stick seismic wave on. Oh, I've already got it on. Okay. Puncture? Yeah. Nope. That is 14. Amalgam organ shatters 11. Have I got anything else I can spare? No, it seems not for now. I'll say sooner or later I'll come back and fiddle with it. That's actually quite an interesting design, it has to be said. Yes, they can. Fathers can hand down values just as well as mothers can. Sorry, thoroughly disagree with you there. Right. Let's consider. Okay, that's my usual configuration. No, I disagree. That's not a good, healthy balance. Growing up with fear is not a good thing. That's basically child abuse. Respect, okay. Fear, no, because the method of instilling fear basically is amounts to child abuse. It doesn't matter if you grow up in constant fear. Honestly, I don't know about commenting that one. That's not something I'm in a position to comment on. But yeah, no, if you grow up in, I do not recommend growing up in fear of your father. Okay, I am on. Yeah.
Ready for action.
Acronymus, do you want to take a run at the Perita Rebellion? We're getting into areas which I am really ill-advised to start discussing. Okay, no problem. Don't feel like rebelling at the moment. Again, wrong path. What do you mean by wrong path? Who defines wrong path? Criminality? Yes. Wrong path. No, you can't do this career. No, definitely. You should not. Fear does not serve as a good upbringing. This is demonstrable. Oops. Right. Let's run at the Perita Rebellion.
Where you dare not look. The hidden past. Relive your battles on Tau and banish the ghosts that haunt you. The Hun Hullus awaits.
Get in trouble. Needs help. Needs energy core. You help. Ace no. Hurry, Dano. Hadkin needs energy core for Liv. Energy is light. Friend needed for fight. Dano help all Hivekin. Please protect.
What you're proposing is abuse, I think, and you're proposing a cycle of abuse as well. And obviously it doesn't work, because otherwise... I suppose you have a criminal father. Yeah, no, sorry. I think there's... Look at this! I can run around the battlefield invisible. Let's see if I can find what I want.
Progress stops. New access codes needed. You find?
Your Warframes cut down my comrades like cattle. See how it feels.
Yeah, don't think that particular message made its presence felt. Where's the authorization codes? I would be delighted to provide authorization codes if I could find them.
Stop. New code needed. Find please.
Easy for you to say, Orbis. Yeah, no, sorry, I have to agree with Acronymus there. Got a feeling socioeconomic status is a better prediction of criminality than how a person was brought up. Or stability. Or poverty. You know, there's... There have been studies done on this, and I am not in a position to look them up and comment. I am not seeing authorization codes anywhere. Okay, somebody found them. Why can't I find them? Or see them, I should say. Normally they show up.
Use authorization. Make permanent.
There we go.
No collapsed.
It's very funny being able to walk around the battlefield and no one can see me. Oh, come on. Give me a clue, you...
Don't scramble. Guns quiet.
Thank you.
Back now. Find new code.
This is the Cobras doing, by the way. This is Phoebe making me invisible. It's kind of handy. Yeah, parenting in old times. Yeah, not necessarily everything to be.
Load is useless for now.
I hate to think the amount of trauma that was accrued because of old style form of parenting techniques, which generally involve beating the child up with absolutely no consideration or insight into what the effect might be, because it ain't positive.
Scanners everywhere. Can't take a crap out here without some Dax Anarch taking pot shots.
New signal. Much interference. Much anarchy. Detector troubles. Offending hands. Remove.
I know there was one over here somewhere.
Their intel systems have gone dark. Take the move forward. Hammering us hard. We need to strike back. There's a commandeered prime in the area. Do what it takes to draw them out. Here it comes. Put them in the ground.
I want fire. I want fury. Let a Warframe take the field.
It's done. I know that wasn't pleasant, but it was necessary. This is a rout. Thin the Anarch ranks.
Would you care to face one of your former friends, Tenno?
My pleasure.
Anarch pride was their death sentence. If only they had listened. Keep moving.
Oh dear.
We're out of time. The Huntress has found you.
I swear this thing's getting easier. Oh, that was stupid. Oh, that was straightforward.
You have won back your memories from the Void's corruption. Chaos has lost this battle.
I know I've said it before, but I miss when they had Lullaby of the Manifold as that sort of central part of the map. The one time my son joined, I took him there, and it was rather interesting seeing all these Warframes, sort of semicircular, just standing, listening to the music. I wish they'd kept that in, it was nice. Right. I think the way this is going to work, I'm going to complete the Perita Rebellion and then call it a day. But before I do that, I have to go do some ladder management, so I'll be back in a couple of minutes. Cyrus, have a great day. Right. Gotta have a look. That's not very good. I'm third. I'm second. Just barely. Still, I got 50% of the damage down. Right. That's the first one. Now for another 13 minutes, we do the Dactylist. Yes, Hullus used to be that central figure they were playing Lullaby of the Manifold. Yeah, I can never remember the name. I can't remember these names. So what I'm going to do is go through these and then figure out how many more I'm not going. I'm not going. I'm going to be here for another, certainly 20 minutes, maybe longer. At the very least, I want to complete this cycle of the Perita Rebellion.
I must have sent you back into a war you barely survived. Remember the battles you were forced to fight, however bitter the memory. Everything depends upon it.
We can't mass assault troops because of Anarch pinpoint strikes. Need you to take out their targeting array and give our guys a fighting chance.
Hey, look at this. I do love being able to...
New access codes needed.
Ah, I love this Cobra. Phoebe, you are magnificent. Yeah, come on, where's the authorization? Oh, I could do Neutron Star without becoming visible.
Node is useless for now. Time to initiate meltdown protocol. Rapid disassembly.
Ah, I didn't realize I could do this.
Targeting array scrapped. Our troops already on the move.
Ah, I can't hit things, but I can do Neutron Star. That is awfully handy.
This is a rout. Thin the Anarch ranks.
What? Oh.
Be alert, Ted. More come.
Every time you grind those bastards into the mud, and I feel a little twinge of pity. I remember what they did to my brothers. One of our scouts just got captured. I don't need to tell you what the Anarchs are capable of. Get them out of there!
It'll make Hypegen safe for certain.
think Phoebe is going to get a lot of use.
We're getting slaughtered on the advance. Destroy them. Or if you're careful, hack them. To neutralize the whole minefield more quickly.
Come on. Oh, that was counterintuitive. Not counterintuitive, counterproductive. Wrong way. Nobody should be. Ouch.
You got nerves of steel, Tenno. I'll give you that.
Now I want to see how Gauss is going to be very useful invisibly running around this battlefield.
Find and destroy their ground scanners everywhere. Can't take a crap out here without some Dax Anarch taking pot shots.
New signal. Much interference. Much anarchs.
Their intel systems have gone dark. Take the move forward. Anarch bastards have captured some of our Brachulus comrades. Need you to set them free before they give them a core override.
Left it. Fast move. Go. Left it. You are free. Follow Tenno.
Those Warframes are all that make you special. See how you fare against one.
Get those bracks out here! Don't let a scratch get on those bracks! We need them!
Left it. You are free. Follow Tenno.
Don't let a scratch get on those bracks! We need them!
Left it. Fast move. Go.
Oh, I'm out of energy. That's embarrassing. That's really embarrassing. I don't normally do that. Ah, that's silliness in the extreme. Where'd it go? Oh, blast. Lost it. No, 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 no. Oh. There we go.
I know what it's like to have your very mind deformed and broken. This Stactylos stands for all its kind.
That is really embarrassing. I almost never ran out of energy doing this. But I don't think I've ever run out of energy doing that before.
It is vital to remember the war as it truly was.
Arranged marriages do not necessarily work. Although it has to be said, most marriages throughout history were not about love and romance. That's a relatively recent thing. But I'm not about to force somebody into a marriage against their will. Even for politics. Because that renders people into what you're talking about when you marry off your child. You are basically treating your child like property. And that is not something I think we should do. Yeah, you definitely don't want to do that. That's the problem with arranged marriages. I can imagine they can work very well. But saying to a child or one of your offspring, you will marry this person, you're basically selling them. Arranged marriage, the real problem with I say real problem, one of the problems with arranged marriage is this unspoken concept that suddenly children become property, a resource, and have no value outside of that. That's a very dangerous thing to do to people. Whoa, that's a lot of kills. Yeah, but you were the one who said an old and wise man should marry his child to a good background family. And that is an arranged marriage you're discussing there. Or something very like it. You cannot marry unless I approve of who you want, who you're marrying. That is... Yeah. Oh, hang on, what?
You may also never form a consonant again, but
Oh,
at least you will not be dead.
Right, one last run. Then we'll find out from Marie LaRue. But we have the luxury to do it. And divorce has always been around. That people always found a way to do it. sometimes people should not stay in relationships.
Dive deep, Tenno. Remember the peace that was sabotaged by greed and pride. Relive the tragedy we were forced to endure.
Now is the time. Punish the Anarchs, and take out as many as you can.
Watch! You blink Anarch!
No, 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 no. You're wrong. Sometimes it is necessary to divorce. What you're talking about there is... oh, grief. You're coming perilously close to saying that a woman has no
Pride was their death sentence.
value outside of marriage.
Keep moving.
At least if I understand you correctly. Now, granted, I am a little busy and I'm trying to do two things at once, but still. Yeah, you're saying if you divorce, the girl will live a miserable life. Not necessarily. They might live a lot better life. But staying in a marriage just for the sake of staying in the marriage is not necessarily good either.
Learn this, Tenno! Anarch's footbound!
And from there, it's only a short thing to saying, you know, a widowed wife. Well, you know what used to happen, and probably still does in some places. You used to know what the custom was. Because there was this idea that a widow had no value without of a husband, you know what the practice used to be. Unless I am completely misunderstanding you.
Anarchs have captured a sentient scout. Get him out of there before they can convert him.
I can go clear! Tenno is friend!
No, you're basically saying men and women should be treated differently. And I think you're wrong. Women can make their way in life just as readily as men, and if the society doesn't permit it, then there's something wrong with that society. Are you kidding me? We got mines here as well? No, 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 no. You are coming very close to misogynistic. You're talking basically about controlling women. That is really, really I don't know if that's what you mean should happen, but it's what it sounds like. You are sounding very much like women don't have a life outside of the men in their lives, and that is really, really reprehensible. If I am understanding you correctly. No, no, no. Yeah. I'm sorry, Risk. You are... I cannot approve of the way that you are, what you are proposing. I mean, you may as well say, why don't you just admit it? You know, you're very close to saying women should be barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen. Is that really what you're saying? They have no existence outside of them, the husband or the men in their lives? Sorry, mate. You are... utterly wrong. You are basically saying women aren't equal to men. Well, maybe you should be a bit more clear, because you are basically talking about controlling women's lives. Women shouldn't be divorced, you seem to be saying, otherwise they will live pridefully. I'm sorry, that really sounds like archaic and an attitude which should be eradicated. I mean, I've heard similar talk from certain types of fundamentalist Christian. It's the same kind of talk that says women shouldn't vote, women shouldn't have jobs, women should only take care of the family. That's really where you seem to be coming from here. Now, if you don't mean that, then perhaps you need to clarify. But what you're saying is actually quite appalling. Again, you are saying that women should be treated differently and not granted the same choices that men have. That's what you appear to be saying. I like to think you're talking out of ignorance, but I have a horrible suspicion this is actually what you mean, and I certainly hope that's not the case. Yeah, this doesn't want to revive. That doesn't seem to be what you're saying, mate. And why are you only concerned about daughters? Why aren't you concerned about sons? Okay, I think there's something glitched going on here. I've never run into this quite before. I mean, I would say it's not right that someone takes advantage of your son, and that happens just as much as it does with daughters. So again, you've got this idea going on that women are somehow, I don't know. It does strike me as being dangerously close to some things which... Now, I hope I'm misunderstanding you, as I keep saying, but... Oh, it's just me. That doesn't help. Oh, and I'm running out of energy again! I have got a divorce can be a very good option. No, sorry. No, you are again arguing for men somehow being superior, and that is not the case. Okay, I am just going to have to now try and survive this for the next 1 minute and 8 seconds. Which is not helpful. And hey, Donnie. Do you want to repeat that conversation, Riss, with Donnie? See what she thinks? Don't think you're going to get a lot of joy out of it. Good grief. That's unusual. No, possibly I don't. But your attempts at clarification aren't making me feel any better, I can tell you that for nothing.
The Anarchs were cruel, turning loyal friends into maddened enemies, who lay their tormented ghosts to rest.
I think this is the first time I've done this solo.
The indifference lies. It wants you to doubt yourself. But you have triumphed today.
Anyway, Danny, how's the fur babies? Just gonna find out what more is needed.
When you've a moment, I've prepared an efficiency optimization plan for the
Hello, my love.
So this is the next one I'm after, and I need a lot more stuff. That should be straightforward. That's going to take a while, and that's going to take a while. Didn't quite... Well, maybe something should be done about the country, then. How about men's lives, men's? And, oh. Look, we're just going to end up recycling, and if I've gotten the wrong end of the stick, I don't necessarily want to repeat it.
And biblo in this future soul be with
Okay.
follow the righteous path. Always.
Oh, right. Okay.
Goodbye, mon cœur.
Oh. Right. Well, I think, unless no Nightwave doesn't, that refreshes tomorrow, so we will continue with that. I don't think there's anything else I particularly want to do. No, I don't want to. Well, I'm very glad I misunderstood you, because one way of taking what you said is not how I necessarily want to take it. Okay. You have to remember, Riss, I don't get to sit and study what you're saying and try it. I get to glance at the screen, try and understand it, and at the same time I'm supposed to be playing a game for the enjoyment and delectation of other people, so handling both at once is a little difficult. Right, so what am I doing? I think I'm going to call it a night. We will remember to hug Phoebe. That's Phoebe. She's new. I have quite an arsenal of companions now. I mean, we've obviously got Peanut. Hello, Peanut. And Achilles and Misfit and Peanut and Phoebe and Pixel and Rufus. And I have at least one more Kavat I can make eventually, as soon as I get the bits. I don't know what I've got in terms of genetic imprint. So yes, I can make 2 more Vaska Kavats if I need to. Yes, but your idea that they should be married off by their father into a good family, that you did say that. Well, those are some impressive fangs. Oh, apparently at some point I had a network error. I think it was at the other end. Right, I'm going to bring this to an end. I don't think there's anything else. Oh, hang on. Yeah, there is always one more thing. Let's go and... Oops, can't spell. Well, I can spell, it just needs to be uppercase. Ooh, that might be handy. Let me have a quick look. There is something I want to upgrade, I think. I need 20,000 to upgrade Umbral Fiber. I think that's the next thing I want to do. Unless Arum Spinosa is all updated as much as I can at the moment. Don't think there's anything here. Nope. I do have prime. Oh, do I want to upgrade that? I can't. I need. Yeah. I need more endo than I've got. And that. Yeah. So I need a whole bunch. Yeah, okay. I think I'm going to bring this to an end. I thought I had something to upgrade, but apparently not. So, thank you everybody for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. I should be back tomorrow evening. I'm sorry, but I'm still not in a position to do resume my morning live streams. Sorry about that. And when I do resume, I suspect I'll only be doing one, but I'm not sure when that's going to happen. So instead, you get more than 3 hours in the evenings. Anyway, I hope you all have a good day. If you have fur babies, remember to give them a hug. Always hug your fur babies. Even if they are arguably monsters like, well, Phoebe isn't a monster. Misfit looks like a monster. Alright. Hope everybody has a good rest of the weekend. I'll see you all next time.